Alright, in this video we're going to set up some of the combat. I'm going to move this guy back over here. And to do that we're going to detect collisions between the dog and the mailman. So for the dog I'm going to add a circle collider, and it's a little bigger than I want it. So I'm going to change this radius from 0.16 to maybe 0.1. Yeah, that looks good. And for the mailman, I'm going to add a capsule collider 2D because I think that fits his shape a little bit more. And with him, I'm going to add a collider, bring it in a bit more. Oops. Something like that I think is decent. I'm gonna maybe modify the size here. 0.15 is good. 1.5 0 offset. Maybe I want just a little bit of an offset. 0.01. He must not be completely centered in the 32 by 32 grid. Okay, so now that they both have colliders, we're going to do different things depending on the tag of this guy. So we're going to add, so if we go up here we can see tag. We're going to add, with the dog we can just give him the player tag since it's already there for us and that's what the player controls. For the mailman, I'm going to add a tag, maybe I'm going to call it enemy. It's going to have an enemy tag. I go back to mailman and I can tag him as enemy. Okay, and so we're going to open up our dog controller again. And I just did that by double clicking it. And we're going to detect collisions, and if we've collided with the guy and we're attacking, then we will trigger the mailman to get hurt. So after update, I'm going to create a new function, and this function is a built-in way to detect collisions in 2D. So make sure to get on collision enter 2D. And if we have the autocomplete, it'll give us a collision here. And I'm going to check if collision, and we'll get the transform from that. So we're getting detect what we've collided with, and we will get the transform of what we've collided with, and then we'll try to get the tag of it afterwards. So transform.tag is equal to enemy. Now we need to check whether we are attacking or not. So if we can set a bool, we can make a bool up here. We could say bool is attacking, and we'll set that to false by default. And over here we can say if is attacking, then we're going to communicate between this script and this script. So we can send a message to what we've collided with because we know it's the enemy. we can say collision dot transform dot send a message, and we're going to tell that get mert. Oh my god, get hurt. Tell the mailman to get hurt. So we're sending this message from the dog to the mailman when we've collided and we are attacking. So for this to do anything in our mailman controller or in any one of the scripts that's attached to the mailman, because it sends it to the game object and it'll go and check for a message to be received somehow. So if we do a function that says get hurt, and we make that public so we can access it if we need to. We can send a trigger to the animator for the mailman to be hurt, like that. Great. So if we go back to our dog controller, we need to determine when we are attacking. So we can set, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set some functions for whether we're attacking or not, based off of the current animation that's playing. So I'm going to have a couple functions here, which can switch between, can switch our bool to true or false. So void is attacking, we could say is attacking equals true. And then this function is not attacking. We'll set is attacking to false. Now if you go back into our animation for our dog, that wasn't anything huge. And we look at our attack. There's our attack. We look at our animator too. The reason this is going to work is that, oh my gosh, why can't am I like just super zoomed out or something? Where is my animator? I don't know what's happening here. Maybe I just have an error. Looks like some animation state error. I don't know how to solve this other than I'm going to try to turn it off and on again. I'll save my project, open project. Maybe it'll refresh and work. Okay, turn it off and on again. So what was I saying? I just wanted to point out that here, we always know that it fully goes through the animation before going back into movement, because we have exit time of 1, and the only way to transition from attack to movement is to wait for the animation to end. So this is why this is safe to do. So what we're going to do is in the animation, at the beginning of the animation, we're going to have a little, we're going to add an event by hitting this little pencil looking tool. And then we can select from any function that is attached, that we can call from scripts that are attached to our dog game object. So at the beginning of this, I'm going to say it is attacking. At the end of this, I'm going to say it is not attacking. Save. And since we have those scripts, I think we can check to see if we can trigger a hurt animation. Something's not right. Oh, I see what I did here. So actually I made the changes to idle and I don't want to do that. Make sure you're on the right animation before you add keyframe events. So this one, I am actually on the attack animation, and oops, I'm changing this one to is attacking, and then I need a new keyframe, or not a keyframe, a new event at the end that it is not attacking. Let's try that. Still no. Is attacking, is not attacking. I think I made a mistake that I always make, in which for interactions to happen between objects, you need something to have a rigid body. So I'm going to add a rigid body 2D to my dog. And I'm just going to make sure that there is no gravity, even though we're updating him frame by frame, so it shouldn't matter anyways. But we won't have like a downward force applied to this guy, so that's good. And also I don't want my rotation to move at all, so I'm going to go into my constraints for the rigid body and to freeze my rotation. So now let's see if, okay, so I do have interactions and I can trigger the hurt animation. So make sure to have, to add a component, a rigid body 2D to your player character, to the dog. Oops, I'm moving stuff around. Okay, so we have some simple detection between whether we can attack it or not. But as you can see there, like I want him to be invulnerable when he's in his hat. So a way we can change that is in the mailman controller. When we have him moving, we can deactivate his 2D collider so that we don't interact with him if he's moving. We only interact after he's attacked. So what we'll do is at the top here, after animator, we will declare a collider 2D, and we can just call that call 2D. And at start, we're going to determine what call 2D means, and that's get component collider 2D. And when we're moving, right after we switch to a move, we set the animation. So maybe right after we move, we say call 2D dot enabled is false. But right after he attacks, we can say call 2D dot enabled is true. So we're grabbing the collider component, and basically what we're doing is we're effectively checking this box off and on. And if we pay attention, we'll see when it's enabled and disabled. Oh yeah, you see the check mark go off and on. Sweet. So we're getting pretty close, guys. We are able to hurt the mailman, but the mailman doesn't yet have a way to hurt us. So in the next video, we'll make that happen.